Yo guys, check it out. First ever red agent kit. I'm actually curious to see how much of a boost this actually gives you. Let's go ahead. Let's check it out. Let's go ahead and let's pick this up. I'm trying to pick up the stuff that has, that's expiring within a day because I don't know, Sneaky Bandit might want to come in here and pop some things off. All right. Okay, so red. How much does that give you? Okay, honestly, I expected a little bit more, but I guess it all depends on where your actual agent level is, right? Not too shabby, not too shabby. All right, guys. So what we're doing today is we're doing some dispatch stuff because I thought it'd be fun and be interesting to see who is actually the best team now because we have some new additions, some new spicy additions, mainly Proxima Midnight because of her lead and passive. Right? If you're not aware, her lead gives ignore dodge by 45%, and because in dispatch the characters are actually, well, the villains in dispatch are like, if you're doing 10-5, they're level 77, and if you don't know, any character that's above your level is going to dodge a lot of your attacks. So the higher the level, the more they dodge. So you need, like, having an ignore dodge is going to be the best thing you could do for your dispatch team. If you're not aware, I've made multiple dispatch videos talking about the best team and so on and so forth. So if you haven't caught those, go and check those out because I give a bunch of other helpful, tips and tricks and things like that. So back to the team here. Now, I recorded with 13 different team ups, guys. This is like a heroes versus villains thing. Although I did many more runs with villains because it's villains that got introduced to the game. They're spicing up the mix here. And in the past I've done a lot of just different runs with, like, I just auto my dispatch. I'd set a team, I'd auto, and then I'd come back and I'd see exactly where they clocked in at, and then I'd switch a different team and so on and so forth. And that's what I did here. And I recorded all these runs. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically fast forward through all the runs. I did three each for 13 of these teams. A few of them, I think 4 of them I only did like one run because their time that they clocked in at was a bit slower than the rest. So it seems like, okay, they're clocking in at this time. All right, we could chalk that up as this team's really not gonna be running for the. They're not gonna be in the running, and they're not gonna be a huge competitor. So 13 different teams. We're going to fast forward through each clip, and I already marked down all the times, and I mean, I pretty much know what teams are clocking in faster. Now, you do have some, like, there's some RNG involved, depending on like when certain skills are being used, can be like the difference of like 20 seconds. So that's why I did 3 runs, just so we can basically take the average, or we get a better idea of what's going on. Now you could also make the argument, okay, so the ones that you only did 1 run, maybe if you did more, it would clock in less. That could be true for sure, because one of the teams, they clocked in at a really quick time before I actually started doing this. Before I started like thinking of okay, I'm going to do a video on this and I'm going to record these clips. And then every time that I ran them after, it was much lower. It was like 30 seconds lower. So not sure what was going on, what was involved during that run where it allowed them to clock in a bit faster. But certain characters are going to be better because of the way their AI operates. Also, depending on what type of CTP you have on them. Like if you have a proc, in most cases, there's actually like Proxima, her AI is absolutely amazing. It does the proper rotation pretty much. Like it does 5, 3, 4, and it procs on 4. It's amazing the way that they operated with what they did her AI rotation. They did a fantastic job. If they could do that for all characters, that would be absolutely amazing. Honestly, if you didn't know Proxima's rotation, just auto her in dispatch and she'll do the rotation for you. Aside from the tier 3, the tier 3 could be that's a little off. I wouldn't expect the AI to cancel her tier 3, but all right, in any case, let's get started here. Let me start pulling up these clips. 13, so it's heroes versus villains, guys. Let's run the heroes first. What do you say? All right, here we go, guys. Okay, so the first team, this is White Fox lead, Rogue, in Torch. So I'll tell you this much: for hero teams, running with White Fox lead seems to be the best case scenario in pretty much all cases. So let's rock and roll here. So like I said, I'm going to fast forward through this all the way till the end of, so there's 3 runs here. 3 runs. Now, the first time, what do we got? We got 206. 206 for the first run. Not really so good compared to the others. I don't know, that might be good for some, but in terms of this testing here on my account, it's not the greatest. And then we have 156. 156 for the second. And for the third, we got, what is this? 146. Okay, so we have some fluctuation there, right? 206, 156, and 146. It's not so bad. The last run is the best, obviously, but you know, I think we could do better, guys. I think we could do better. And so, what do we got here next? This is going to be, nope, not that one. Here we go. Okay, so this is Rogue and Odin. So basically, the hero teams, it's Rogue, White Fox lead, Rogue, and then Odin, and then all the villain teams have Proxima Midnight lead. Okay, so I'm not gonna repeat that over and over again. Let's go ahead. Let's fast forward through. What do we got? 146. Okay, so that's the first run's the fastest time of Torch and in Rogue. What do we got next here? Bada bing. Here we go. Mission complete. And for the next, we have, come on. 142. Okay, we're speeding up here. What is going to be the last one? So basically, we could just take, like, you know, the average and see. Okay, 145. That's actually pretty good. I'd say that's pretty fast. But is it the fastest? I don't think so. Alrighty, here we go. So for the last hero team up, this is the team that I've actually been using. This was my go-to auto dispatch team, and this is White Fox lead, Rogue, and Ghost Rider. So let's see where they're. Oh, what was that? So that was 140. 140. Now we're speeding up a little bit. Let's see, what do we got next? We got, oh, I passed the mission success. 144. So 140, 144, and for the last, we have 146. Okay, those are some pretty good times. Like I said, there's going to be some fluctuation. There's always, you know, I mean, I've seen this team typically, you know, usually whenever I catch the time, like if I run in dispatch and I just glance on my phone, it's usually like in the 130s. It's, you know, low 140s, 130s is typically where that clocks in. These were, you know, 140, 144, and 146. All right, now let's rock and roll onto the villains. Now, okay, if I only did 3 hero teams, that means I have 10 different villain teams. 10, yes, I got a little crazy and out of control. Alrighty, here we go. So the first team up here we got this is Proxima Midnight lead. Like I said, it's always going to be Proxima Midnight lead, Supergiant, and Mephisto. Okay, and actually, let's go back to the beginning. Let's see if Proxima, she's actually operating her rotation the way that that I claimed she was. Okay, so right here is not the best example. Here, let's go to the next phase here, and let's see how she has her tier 3 up here. So she's gonna pop her tier 3. Okay, get the hell out of the way there. All right, so let's see. All right, so watch. She's gonna do her 5. She's gonna do her 3, and then she's gonna hit her 4. And typically it procs on the 4. Like sometimes it looks like it's cutting it close, but typically she procs on the look at that. It's amazing. It's amazing. So, you know, certain characters are just going to be better for it just because of the way their AI operates. Like, I'll show you what Call does, because I ran with Call, and his AI is not good. It is just not good. If his AI operated a little bit differently, I think he could be one of the best. But because of the way it does, not so much. All right, so let's see what we got here. So this is, yeah, Supergiant, Mephisto. 141. Not too shabby, man. Not too shabby. The quickest we have so far is 140, and that's Rogue and Ghost Rider. So, I mean, this could certainly be one of your teams here. Like, let's see what this next time is. I honestly forget. Oh, what's going on? Oh, I think I wanted to make sure I was recording. And What do we got? What do we got? 142. So seems like it's very consistent up until this point. And for the last, we have 141. So two 141, 142. Very consistent on this team. It definitely seems like if the trend continues on all of them, so far this is the quickest team. It's quicker than my fastest auto team that I've been as my go-to up until this point. So guys, check it out. You're about to see a clip. It's a 30-second clip. It's an advertisement. This company LDPLAYER, they reached out to me. What it is, it's an emulator. Now, I personally haven't downloaded it, mainly because the current MacBook that I typically use, I need an upgrade. The graphics card I don't think can really support an emulator. Now, I haven't personally used it, but some guys that I'm in a chat with, they went ahead, they downloaded it, and they had nothing but good things to say about it. Now, there's no benefit to me for saying anything about this. They didn't ask me to say anything about it, but I thought because it's in one of my videos, I should at least give some personal feedback, some, you know, just interaction that I've had with it. And the people that have downloaded it, they, like I said, they had nothing but good things to say about it. They said it was super smooth, and it seems like, especially for dispatch, I thought this would actually be the perfect video to put it in, because instead of tying up your phone with dispatch, right, running dispatch auto, you can throw it on your PC and have your PC do it for you. And it looks like it supports multiple accounts too. So if you're somebody who actually has multiple accounts, this might be the thing for you to do. And like I said, I get no benefits from anybody downloading this or anything. So I'm just giving you my honest to goodness experience and feedback on this emulator here. So enjoy it. Alrighty, here we go. We have Mephisto and Valkyrie here. Had some technical difficulties on the first time around, so we're doing this again. All right, first time we got what is that? 146, guys. 146. Next time around here. The thing with Mephisto is that I think his time would be even far better if he actually went into his giant form. He stays in his regular form, right? What do they call it? His fiend form. What a name for that. So what do we got here? So we had 146, 140, not too shabby. And lastly, we got, what do we got? 154. Okay, so there's a little bit of fluctuation there, but it's not bad. It's definitely a team you could use to get that clear done pretty quickly if you didn't have some of the other characters built up actually. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, now we have Mephisto and Loki, ladies and gentlemen. Mephisto and Loki. Loki is an absolute monster for dispatch, I'll tell you that much. So let's go ahead and let's fast forward. Let's see what we... Oh, here we go. What do we clock in this first run here? Honestly, don't know. Mephisto, Loki. Okay, so this team might shock you. Team might shock you. So what is that? 140, right? 140 on the first run. Let's see what we got on the next run. On the next run, we have 139. 139. That's the fastest so far, guys. I mean, it's only a second, but you know, if you're running dispatch, I mean, think about how long you actually run dispatch. Those seconds add up. But this last one might be a doozer for you. What is that? 130, guys. A minute and a half. That's pretty bananas. Mephisto, Proxima Midnight, and Loki so far taking the crown. But wait, there's more, guys. There is more. All right, next up, we have Valkyrie and Loki, right? Like I said, Loki is an absolute monster, but let's see if Valkyrie actually helps the situation out here. So, this is only one run. So that should tell you something. So this is well under 2 minutes. Now, like I said, you can get some, you know, discrepancy, you can get some fluctuation. That's 202, but just because of how long this was taking, yeah, I wasn't gonna really mess around with it. So that's the one and only run I did for them, and it was 2:02. So it seems like adding Mephisto to it is really ramping up that time there. All right, next up we have Super Giant in Loki here. Super Giant in Loki. Yeah, this is it right here. All right, let's go ahead. Let's play that track. And let's see. What do we got for Super Giant and Loki? I honestly don't know all these numbers off the top of my head. So, whoa. So this is a one run as well. 211. 211, I said, you know, that's just too low to, I mean, sure, maybe it could speed up, you know, you know, on different runs. Maybe I'll test it out in the future, but as of right now, they're low, man. They're dropping real low. All right, and then next up here we have Call and Super Giant. Call and Super Giant. Let me show you what's going on with this rotation here, or just the AI of Call, to show you why it's not good. So I think I actually select him just so you can see exactly what skills he's using. Like, I'm not actually playing with him, but I do swap on to Call at some point. I'm pretty sure I do. Nope, I didn't. I did not. Maybe it must have been a different run, but they clock in at 211 as well, so it's slow. I'll just tell you, Cole, he doesn't use his 5. He prioritizes his 4 and his 2 skill. His 4 and his 2, guys. Those are really bad skills to actually prioritize and to proc on. I'm playing him. He has an energy. And it's just, yeah, if he used his 5, I think he would be one of the better ones. Actually, this team here, it's really strange that it clocked in at 211 because when I ran them before, right, like I was just playing around, ran them before, they finished with 125 left. So it was at 135 they clocked in. I thought they were for sure going to be a threat to the dispatch meta auto team ups, but I mean, 211, guys, 211. That's just too low. You don't want those outliers in there. It's gonna really, you know, extend your dispatch auto time. All right, we still got some more team up, guys, and it's gonna get spicy. Alrighty, here we go. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, this team might surprise you. Is Mephisto and Null, 2 native tier 3s, and of course Proxima Midnight lead. I didn't, yeah, like I said, I don't want to have to specify that every time. So I'm just naming the 2 other characters. So 119, so what is that, 141. Not too shabby. Not too shabby for the 2 negative tier 3s. I mean, personally, I think, you know, native tier 3s should clock in a little bit faster, but that's okay. All right, now what do we got? 140. 140. That's pretty good. That's pretty good in my book. And lastly, 150. Okay, so we got an additional 10 seconds on top of the last one. They're fast, but they're not the fastest. Not the fastest as of what we've seen so far. Next up, I have Dormammu and Loki. Dormammu, I know, guys. Where did Dormammu come from? He's been in the game, but we haven't had Proxima Midnight in the game. So let's go ahead. Let's see where these guys are clocking in at. They're not too bad. They're not too bad, but you'll see they're not the fastest. So we have 151, which that's pretty good. It's pretty good, but you know, because we have these other hard hitters in the game, it's just not the fastest, right? 144. That's keeping up with some of the meta. Keeping up with the meta. I do have a Forged Judgment on Dormammu, so that's why I thought to try him out. Because I think I did try him before, and he didn't super impress me. Okay, 2 minutes. So that's on the slower side. That's enough to really turn me off from actually using that team up there. All right. Next up here we have Loki and Null. Loki and Null here. Here we go. This is it right here. Let's play that track. And let's fast forward through this bad boy. All right. First time. What do we got? Okay, 120, 137, guys. That's pretty darn good. That's definitely, it's not the fastest time, but it's one of the fastest times. That's for sure. I think I might have only ran this twice for some reason. What's this next time here? Yeah, looks like I did. So 157 and 137. So that's quite the difference, right? It's quite the difference. Yeah, I think I realized I wasn't actually recording. That's a 20-second difference, guys. And that, for me, because there's other teams I could do a little bit faster, that's going to dissuade me from actually using that team up there. All right, here we go. So we got Null and Valkyrie here. There we go. All right, so I only ran this one once, so that's gotta say something, right? It's gotta say something, which means super slow, 205. And a lot of times, you know, so running with Valkyrie, right, the additional support doesn't necessarily mean the other tune, right? Like Null in this case, the you know, so if you have Proxima lead, the other tune, and then just a support, doesn't necessarily mean that the other tune isn't the one, you know, carrying the weight. It just means that, you know, they don't synergize that well with Valkyrie. But sometimes it can mean that they're not the tune that's actually carrying the weight. Whew, that was a lot of teams and a lot of clips. So I'm not going to put every single team in time on the screen. What I'll probably do is I'll pick like a few to throw up here, the few fastest. So I'll tell you, what seems to be the fastest team up right now is Proxima Midnight Lead, Mephisto, and Loki. Now, it could be because of, you know, my builds. I do have a brilliant judgment on Mephisto, but honestly, when I put a brilliant on Rogue in running dispatch, it really didn't seem to make much of a difference. It doesn't. So like having you know, like a mighty or a regular CTP as opposed to a brilliant, I don't think it's really going to make that much of a difference. Honestly, I didn't notice like any time difference when I was running Rogue with a brilliant. It's not on her anymore, but like I said, I noticed much of a difference. So yeah, Proxima Midnight, Mephisto, and Loki as the fastest team. Their times was 140, 139, and 130. Getting it done a minute 30 on auto is very impressive. I bet, you know, you might even be able to do even a little bit faster, right? With some RNG and different runs. I'd say that's pretty good. And then right behind them is Proxima Midnight, Super Giant, and Mephisto at 141, 142, and 141. Very consistent too, and that's what you want. You want to see the consistency because, like, we have the Proxima, Loki, and Null, but there was one that was 137, which is very fast, and then there was 157. That's a 20-second difference, guys. So, you know, I'd say, you know, when you're picking these teams, pick on a more, you know, some that are just more consistent instead of you getting these crazy swings with times. Like, actually, Mephisto and Null isn't so bad. He had 141, 140, and then 150. So, you know, I feel like a lot of people, you know, I don't know, maybe you don't have Loki built up, you know, depending on where your account's at, but you went for Mephisto and you went for Null because, you know, they're hard hitters. Get Proxima lead. You know, you might need Proxima tier 3 as well to actually make that impact. But I'd say having her even with like a proc, it seems like she works well with just the way her AI operates she's gonna proc for you. Like she was procking like when she was supposed to. She was doing the 5, 3, and then 4 and procking on, because of the delay hits on the 5 and 3, she was able to proc on 4. I'd say like most of the time, at least like 60% of the time, it seemed like she was actually procking on 4. So hopefully this helps you out, guys. This way, you know, you don't gotta bang your head off the wall running a bunch of different team ups. Oh, and I did try using Corvus on the team. It just he wasn't really adding anything to it. I mean, if you guys really want to see, you know, a run with him and maybe some like him, Proxima, and then even Mephisto or Super Giant, I could do that for you guys. But it didn't seem like he was really making. He didn't seem like he was making a dent. But I want to know your best dispatch team. If maybe there's some team ups that I didn't really think of, and I didn't think that really could make a splash. Let me know in the comments what team ups you actually use, and I'll go ahead and I'll test them, and then I'll you know, maybe I'll record some clips, and then I'll bring you guys the results on that. So we had a little fun here, but you know, with everything in life, all good things and all fun things must come to an end. But I got more stuff. So you better stay tuned. You stay breezy, but most of all, friend, you stay safe out there now. Peace.